This is a story about a man most people would never look at twice. He was not a businessman. He was not an entrepreneur. He never got a massive inheritance. He never struck a lucky deal or picked the right stock at the right time. He worked an ordinary job, earned an ordinary salary, lived in an ordinary house, and drove an ordinary car. His neighbors did not think he was wealthy. His colleagues did not think he was wealthy. Even his own family did not fully understand what he was quietly doing with his money every single month for decades. And then he retired. And everyone found out. And nobody could believe it. This is the story of Ahmed. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how he did it and why almost anyone watching this could do the same thing. Ahmed was born in a middle-class family in Lahore in 1965. His father worked in a government office. His mother ran the household. They were not poor, but they were careful with money in the way that people who have seen difficult times are always careful. Money was respected in that home. Not worshipped, respected. You did not waste it. You did not show off with it. And you did not leave it sitting idle. Ahmed studied commerce, graduated at 22, and got a job at a mid-sized textile company as a junior accounts officer. His starting salary was 4,000 rupees a month. This was 1987. 4,000 rupees was a reasonable starting salary for a fresh graduate at the time. Not luxurious, not desperate, just ordinary. Enough to contribute to the household, buy what he needed, and have a little left over. In his first month of work, before he bought anything extra, before he went out with friends to celebrate his first salary, Ahmed did something that would define the rest of his financial life. He walked into a mutual fund office and opened an account. And he invested 500 rupees, 1/8 of his salary. Gone into an account he promised himself he would never touch. His friends thought he was being overly cautious. 500 rupees, what is that going to do? Save up for something real, they said. Buy gold, keep cash. 500 rupees in some investment account is not going to change your life. Ahmed smiled and said nothing. He had read something once, a single paragraph in a finance book he found in his uncle's house, about how money compounds over time. He did not fully understand all the mathematics of it, but something about the idea had lodged itself in his mind and refused to leave. Money growing on its own. Returns earning returns. He did not need to fully understand it to believe it was worth trying. So he kept going. Every single month, without fail, 500 rupees left his account and went into his investment. When his salary increased after his first year, he increased the investment too. Not dramatically, just a little, 600 rupees, then 800. His rule was simple and he never broke it. Every time his income went up, at least 20% of that increase went to his investment account before he adjusted his lifestyle. The rest he could spend. But that 20% was untouchable. By the time Ahmed was 30, he was earning around 15,000 rupees a month. His investment had grown to around 3,000 rupees a month. His portfolio at that point was not dramatic, maybe 3 to 4 lakh rupees total. Enough to feel real, but not enough to feel like freedom. He had been investing for 8 years, and the results, while positive, were not yet the kind of numbers that make people gasp. This is the phase where most people give up, when the effort feels real, but the reward still feels distant. Ahmed did not give up. He had made a decision at 22, and he treated that decision as permanent. Not something to revisit every year, not something to reconsider when the market dipped. Permanent. At 32, Ahmed got married. His wife Sadia was a schoolteacher. She was careful with money in her own right, not an investor, not someone who followed markets. Just someone who understood instinctively that spending less than you earn is the foundation of a peaceful life. When Ahmed showed her the investment account on their first month together, she looked at the balance, looked at him, and said one thing: "Keep going." That was it. No questions about whether they should use it for a honeymoon upgrade. No suggestion to pause contributions while they set up their new home. Keep going. Ahmed had chosen well. Through his 30s, life happened in the way life always does. They had 2 children. They moved to a slightly larger house, rented, not purchased, because Ahmed had done the calculation and determined that in their city at that time, renting made more financial sense than buying on a large loan. His colleagues bought houses with maximum mortgages and considered themselves smart. Ahmed quietly continued investing. His portfolio was now growing in a way that was beginning to feel different. The compounding curve was starting to bend. What had taken 8 years to build in the first phase was now being added in 2 to 3 years. The engine was warming up. At 40, Ahmed sat down and looked at his investment account properly, for the first time in years. He had always checked it occasionally, but never with full attention, deliberately so, because he knew that watching it too closely would tempt him to react to every dip and rise. When he finally looked, the number on the screen made him sit very still for a long moment. His portfolio was worth approximately 45 lakh rupees. From an account that started with 500 rupees a month, he had contributed somewhere around 18 to 20 lakh of his own money over 18 years. The rest, 25 lakh rupees, was growth. Money his money had made. Without him working for it. Without him thinking about it. Just quietly compounding in the background while he lived his life. He called Sadia into the room and showed her the screen. She looked at it. Then she looked at him. Then she smiled and said, "I told you to keep going." They laughed. And then Ahmed increased his monthly contribution again. His 40s were his highest earning years. He had risen to a senior position in the company, his salary was now substantial, and his lifestyle had grown modestly. A better car, some home improvements, nicer family vacations once a year. But his investment rate had also grown substantially. By 45, he was investing 40,000 rupees a month. Every raise, every bonus, a significant portion went straight into the account. His colleagues at this stage were focused on visible markers of success: bigger cars, brand-name clothes, impressive weddings for their children planned years in advance with borrowed money. Ahmed lived comfortably, but without performance. He was not trying to look wealthy. He was trying to become wealthy. These are very different projects. At 50, something shifted in Ahmed that he had not expected. The portfolio had crossed 1 crore rupees, and for the first time, he realized that his investments were generating more in annual returns than many of his colleagues earned in an entire year of working. His money was working harder than most people he knew, and it required nothing from him. No overtime, no office politics, no performance reviews. It just grew, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. He did not tell anyone, not his colleagues, not his extended family, not his friends from university. Not because he was secretive by nature, but because he understood something important. Wealth announced early attracts opinions, requests, and pressure. Wealth built quietly stays intact. At 55, Ahmed's company offered an early retirement package due to a restructuring. Most of his colleagues in similar positions either panicked or negotiated aggressively to stay. Ahmed took the package without hesitation. He went home, sat with Sadia, and showed her the full picture of their finances for the first time in its entirety. The investment portfolio. The returns it was generating annually, the projections for the next decade. Sadia, who had trusted him for 23 years without ever demanding a detailed accounting, looked at everything carefully. Then she closed the laptop and said, "So what do we do tomorrow?" Ahmed said, "Whatever we want." And that was the first day of the rest of their life. By 60, Ahmed's portfolio had crossed 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. The monthly returns alone, without touching the principal, were enough to cover all their expenses comfortably and still have money left over. He had not become wealthy by earning an extraordinary income. His lifetime earnings were solidly middle class. He had become wealthy because for 38 years he had been completely consistent, completely patient, and completely immune to the temptation to spend what the compounding engine needed to do its work. When his son got married and asked Ahmed how he had done it, Ahmed told him the whole story, starting from the 500 rupees in 1987. His son sat quietly for a moment and then asked, "Baba, why didn't you tell us earlier?" Ahmed thought about it. Then he said, "Because I wanted you to see the result first. Words are easy, numbers are honest." So, what is the actual lesson here? Because Ahmed's story is inspiring, but inspiration without instruction is just entertainment. Let's extract exactly what he did so you can do the same. He started small and he started immediately. He did not wait for the right amount. He did not wait for the right moment. 500 rupees on his first salary. Whatever you can do today, do it today. He automated it completely. The money left his account before he could spend it. Automation removes the need for willpower. Willpower is unreliable. Automation is not. He increased contributions with every income increase. The lifestyle did not absorb every raise. A fixed percentage of every raise went directly to investments. This is how the contribution grew from 500 to 40,000 rupees a month over 3 decades, not through discipline every month, but through a simple rule applied to every raise. He never touched it. Not for the car, not for the house renovation, not for any emergency that could be handled another way. The investment account was not a savings account. It was a vault with a 30-year lock on it. In his mind, that money did not exist for spending. He invested in growth assets, not a savings account, not gold sitting in a drawer, equity mutual funds that participated in the growth of the economy over decades. The 10% average annual return that compounding requires comes from growth assets, not from keeping money safe and still. And finally, he did not perform wealth. He built it. The car, the house, the clothes, all modest, all functional, all chosen because they served his life, not because they signaled something to other people. Every rupee not spent on performance was a rupee the compounding engine could use. Ahmed is not a fairy tale. Ahmed is arithmetic. The same arithmetic is available to every single person watching this video. The question is not whether it works. The question is whether you will start. 500 rupees a month, that is where it began. That is where yours can begin too. Open an account this week, set up the automatic transfer, make the decision permanent, and then live your life while the compounding engine does its work in the background, quietly, consistently, and over time, extraordinarily. Subscribe to Money Habits. If Ahmed's story moved you or taught you something, share this video because somewhere in your contact list there is a 22-year-old who needs to hear this before it is too late for them. Drop a comment telling me, what is stopping you from starting your 500 rupees today? I want to read every single one. See you in the next one.